This is the van. It is a 2002 Chevy Savannah, I think. 1500, 4.3 liter engine, 6-cylinder, the B machine. It's gonna be epic. It's gonna be really unique. Yeah, so here it is. Now we are going to put a topper on. Not any Joe Blow topper, a weird custom topper. It's gonna be epic. Also, that's Hoots. He's very vicious. Oh, Hoots, are you vicious? Yep. Step one, we're gonna cut some holes. I'm gonna take all the wires and take the bed liner at least half off. We're gonna cut a big rectangle hole in the roof. I have my co-worker here. He's not really pulling his weight though. It's pretty rough. Stop barking up the wrong tree. I'm done. Good boy. All right, as you can see, I've already started. Took that off, undid a couple screws, take those things off. Those things off, they just pop off. I've done the first visor, just 3 screws there and a little tab there. The little tab, you just like use a little pry bar or something to pick that out, and then that pops out. Then the screws should be bomber, and then we can see what's going on underneath. Okay, just took the headliner off. As you can see, there's moisture up there. Do you know what moisture means? No, not pool parties. Mold, potential mold. So, yeah, see? That's why you take everything off. Now the fun part, cutting the big hole in your roof. Nothing can go wrong. Absolutely nothing. The plan is to basically follow this line and then cut all the way to the back across to approximately right here. Maybe. We're stronger together, right? This is fairly thick gauge steel or metal, whatever, which is good. So I'm gonna take advantage of those holes. Where the bolt comes up, it's approximately right there, right on that ridge, so who knows. And then that's where the hole will be cut. Plan is to cut and ask for forgiveness. Glad you're still here. There was this corded beast. So I'm quickly measure out through all the holes in the corners, and then I'm going to take my jigsaw, put a metal blade inside, and cut holes that are basically parallel with the bottom. There's holes there, holes over there. Marked out the lines. Now to cut most of it with a jigsaw. I also have a grinder. Okay, always wear protection, ear, eyes, nose, mouth, teeth, whatever you want. You can't be too safe. So there's the cross mounts, and I'm just grinding them from the bottom and then from the top. I've done that side, almost done this side. And I'm just doing that because the metal jigsaw blades cut through the roof like nothing, but then they get jammed up and smoke the things because they're so short, the cross beams. I know a lot of people will use like a skill saw and a metal blade, or there's like special sheet metal cutting tools that you can attach to a drill. There's things you can do, some sort of shears, I don't know. These are the tools I had. Cut with a grinder and a jigsaw, the sheet metal. Now I'm just gonna like tear it up. You can see the foam there. And then once I have the main sheet off, I will grind off the cross beams. Oh no. Going to file and sand everything now. Everything is cut, filed. I just vacuumed it. I'm gonna basically do a quick once over and clean everything. Probably just with mineral spirits because it's easy. And then I am going, after I clean it, I will paint with rust-proof paint all the places that I cut with exposed metal because you don't want it to rust over time. Hope everyone is having a good day. A piece of sawdust just went in my eye, but I can push through, Zach. It's a show, come on. Yesterday, we cut the hole we got the metal ready and we primed the metal. So it was dry this morning, so I came here and basically what I've done is I've cut little like pieces of wood that are approximately the same height as this. I fastened this down and also just PL'd and screwed it in. I also, back here, you can see I PL'd and just put a strip at the back just because it was empty back here and I just wanted that extra support. I put curves in the wood just to follow the curve of the van. This is definitely overkill, just so you know. I got a little bit excited. Oh, I just love using the miter saw. Oh. And then at the front, I put an extra support beam. No particular reason, and I did the same thing. Also too many cuts. Like, look at that. That one, I put like 8 or something in this one, and it was fine. So this one, actually, because the roof was curved like this, I cut it into 4 pieces. Yeah, so now I guess we're going to start framing the van. Wow, for the bees, baby. Elephant in the room, my lips are chapped, okay? Eyes up here. Let's just do a quick run around. So I drilled all the bolt holes and then primed them with paint all around. I think there is like 4 or 5 on each side and then 2 at the front. I haven't drilled any in the back, but I'll probably do that last when it's on. Over there, you can see, let me zoom in here. That is my ghetto awesome bottom plate. So that's the plate that's gonna fit on top of the van. And I'll show you guys some more details, because learning how to build a van, or you're just starting, vans are curved in every which direction. It doesn't matter if you think it's gonna be like perfect and fit. It'll probably take a couple times. So yes, always dry fit it. Measure 8 times if you have to before you cut once. Make lots of cardboard cutouts. That's like a good tip. I find it works well. Yeah, so we're gonna bring it over here. We're going to, well, I need to mineral oil this and clean it, but I think I'm gonna bring the van in the shop because it's getting cold. It's that time of year, but if the sun goes down, it gets freezing. Dry fit it. If it looks good, I'm gonna lift it up like 6 inches, and then I'm gonna put it all down, then we're gonna put it down, we're gonna squish it, we're gonna bolt it. Oh, cool. I'm really overtired. It doesn't matter. Oh, we can't forget Hootie Booty. Oh, hi. Are you so cute? Oh my gosh, you have a tape measure? Have you been measuring things? What are you doing? Oh, hi. Oh my gosh. This is my hilarious bottom plate fit thing for the van. I'm just gonna pretty it up. So maybe I'll chuck a nice time lapse in there of me buffing and sanding this thing, getting it ready to go. Time lapse now. In my mom's garage. Shout out to you, Mom. So I have all the bolt holes ready. I got all the bolts I need. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna like mark where I'm gonna need a little extra sealant, and then put a pretty thick bead of an RV sealant. I think it's called ProFlex. Everything else is like, has been clamped on and dry fitted and everything's good to go. Everything is very hilariously propped up with blocks that aren't equal, it's fine. So I've taped off everything. What I'm using to seal it is ProFlex, hello, RV. It's a flexible sealant, it's excellent adhesion. I'm gonna put extra on all the bolt holes, on the bolts, and I'm gonna do like a pretty solid bead all the way around. I'll take the blocks off and I'll set it with clamps, and then I'll just go around and I'll bolt it. I'm just gonna quickly show you guys how I like bolted everything down. So as you know, I put these pieces in, which I think the bolts actually go behind, but I put a few bolts on this side and I fastened those first, kept the base plate level, because if I just sucked all the ones on the outside, I noticed that the base plate would, and I put so many bolts all over this van. I think there's 16 in total. So I basically just used stainless steel bolts and washers from, honestly, just Home Depot. And Okay, it's a little bit ghetto. It's almost done. I have to tighten up the corners and like seal everything, but wow. So yeah, I'll tighten that up, put the corners together. I have to put one more tarp right there. If I knew that this last tarp was this big, I would have used it in a more strategically placed position, but that's okay. Bird by bird. That's kind of an inside thing. Tarp city complete. I like very half-assed tuck taped all the joints. It's honestly, I have like a little baby heater on. I have to go tomorrow and figure out how to like get a better heater. Yeah, and then, but it's warm. It's warm. I might do a little bit of the framing tonight just to see, because it's exciting. Crazy? Does that look too, is that too wild? I made it pretty high, but I don't know. You just watched a few time lapses of me framing the van. So I cut the 2x4s, ripped them down in half just to save weight. Yeah, I kind of did this weird, cool design. I don't even know why. I thought I wanted a little bit more space. If I was building it custom, I may as well make it a little bit bigger than the regular van toppers. Give it a good sand, fill all the gaps in with wood filler, and then I will coat a layer of resin. I'll coat it all in a layer of resin, because if you fiberglass raw wood or like raw plywood, a lot of the resin will seep into the wood and then you won't have a good bond, and then there'll be extra fiberglass showing, and then yeah, but that'll be the next part of the video. Yeah, but I think it looks pretty good. What do you think? Check it out. Wow. Have here. What are you doing? Yeah, Hoots? It looks humongous, which is cool. It's sheeted. I used all recycled wood, so it took a really long time to like find wood that was usable. So I had to sand everything. It took a lot of extra work, but it was worth it because it's cheaper, better for the environment. Because reduce, reuse, and recycle, people. Remember the thing that we learned in like in elementary school? Works in harmony. We're all connected. Next is I'm going to give a quick buzz to everything. I guess I'll do a time lapse of it, because time lapses are kind of the theme of this video. Then I'm gonna fill all the cracks. I have some like wood filler, and I want it to look fairly nice in the end product. And then once all the gaps are filled, I'll wait all day, come back later. I'm about to turn the heat on, so it's gonna be warm in here. And then I'll finish everything, I'll sand everything. Hopefully it's done by tonight. If not, I guess tomorrow morning. And then I'll put the first coat of epoxy resin, or the resin, on the plywood. It's very important, and a lot of people miss this step, that you soak the plywood with resin, because wood is very porous. And if you were just if you put the fiberglass cloth on and then soaked it in the resin, a lot of the resin will just seep into the wood. So my plan is to put a coat on the top and then wait about 12 to 18 hours depending. When it's past tacky, when it's like fairly solid but not fully cured, that's when I'm gonna do the second layer. This first base coat will also kind of give me an idea of how much epoxy I need. They said I have more than enough, but I have a feeling I'm gonna need way more. I'm just a boy living in a man's world. I'm gonna round the edges, fill the gaps, and here are some time lapses of that. It's been a couple of days. My apologies. Last time you saw me sanding the top of the van, and then I filled it with Bondo. I filled all the screw holes and all of the big voids and cracks. I did like a 75% good job. Again, I'm using all reclaimed wood. If anyone has ever built a van or an RV or built anything out on a vehicle, nothing is perfectly straight and nothing is square. Filled it with Bondo, sanded it. It was dusty as heck in here. Then I polyed the van. This is just poly that was sitting in the garbage. I had to tape it in the middle because it wasn't long. I don't know if it was cut into strips or not, and I used some like weird wrapping paper. You'll see that in the video. So we're going to epoxy now. I'm using Entropy resins. It's like a really cool company. I have a heater going on in my tarp tent, but it's pretty basic. But I also have a heater inside the van, like an electric heater, and the inside of the van is really warm, and the plywood is actually not hot to touch, but it's warm, so I think it's gonna cure fine, but it's gonna take a little bit longer. And I'm gonna be rolling it on, so I'm gonna do it in a couple of sections. Put this first coat on within 24 hours. Usually you have enough time with this brand and like the type of epoxy that I'm using so I'm gonna try to be as organized as possible and set myself up for success like we all should. Honestly, this type of work, I'm learning that like 90% of it is the prep work. First coat on the plywood is good. It's midnight in approximately 12 hours, so after lunch tomorrow, we'll be doing the fiberglass. In the morning, I'll prep all the fiberglass, so we'll talk about that. In the morning for me and 3 seconds for you. First coat went on last night. I finished at about like 10 to 12 at night. It took a long time. It was really porous and there were a lot of voids, so I did one coat, and by the time I finished going all the way around the van, I just went back and then I filled all the dry spots. Honestly, I basically did 2 coats. I don't know if it was a good or a bad idea, but I did it anyway. Really warm in here, so I got up this morning, came and checked it out. It's settled. It's not sticky to the touch. Everything kind of just feels like not tacky but solid, and it's not cured. And I think so I'm gonna start fiberglassing. It's important to use gloves, and then we're gonna start glassing.
We can't forget the little puppy who's helping. Hi. You're so cute. Hello. Hi. Oh, is this your bite? Oh my, no. No. Hoots, you killed her. Oh. You're so vicious.
I started to lay glass down. I made like 7 mistakes. But basically I used big sheets of glass and tried to glass everything at once, when you should always do it in small pieces. So I'm just gonna fix this little front right now that I didn't finish, that's underneath the top. Oh my gosh, look. Oh, what are you doing? Nice to meet you. Hi. Hey. Hey, nice to meet you. Hi. It's a pleasure. Yes. The top is fiberglassed. A couple coats in a couple places where I thought like stress points maybe, and I might do a few layers on the inside. But now I'm going to sand it. When you're sanding fiberglass, very important to wear a full respirator, wear basically all the protection you can. I tied the dog up outside, so he's like in the fresh air. I took all the electrical and important stuff out. We fiberglassed it, and then now I've like pondoed the whole thing because, like I said before, I made a bunch of different mistakes on the fiberglassing, but this is the van right now. Okay, topper's primed. Ow! I'm stuffed up. I'm not talking about turkey breast. I'm talking about my nose. I'm sneezing a lot. Sneezing and like it hurts your chest. Like it feels like there's just, these muscles are torn every sneeze. It's okay. I think the paint thinner and the primer fumes probably, clean everything out. It is the morning of day 1 million, and the van is still not painted, but I seem to be pretty painted. So I sprayed the van with primer, an oil-based primer, and it was spraying onto like the Bondo and resin mix. And about 24 hours later, I applied 2 coats of, it was called DTM acrylic yellow, and I later learned that DTM is direct to metal, but yesterday I went to tape off the bottom of the yellow to start to do another color, and then I went to peel off a little bit of dirt, and then everything started to peel off. All the yellow on the top, and I didn't take any videos because my phone was full of storage, and I'll put a couple of the pictures in right now. Oh my gosh, and look at this carnage. See, it's not yellow anymore, but you can see the remnants. Oh my gosh, and look at all the paint I had to peel off yesterday. Oh, I was up to like, I started at like 6 and I chipped and peeled, tried to do a meticulous job until freaking 2 in the morning. I peeled part of it off, I grabbed a sample, I called them, I went back there, and then I don't know what the mix-up was, but this was the stain I used, the sealer I used. It was an oil-based, and this is the new paint that I got. I'm gonna have to reprime all the spots that are worn off, so I'm gonna have to sand again. I'm gonna paint, but at least I can get time lapses now. The painting, it was meant to be. Maybe that's why. Looks like one of those weird balloon send-offs gone wrong. Oh. I've painted the black trim on the bottom. I think it looks pretty good. Now I'm going to paint the yellow. And the yellow I'm gonna paint like the grill, took that apart, some of the rims, the back plastic, a little wire brush, and I got all the dirt off. A quick sand, just to scratch it, the primer adheres. I'm gonna clean the whole car. We also got some decals being made as we speak, so things are happening. I've been going hard for like a few hours. Probably like, what, 12 to 1 a.m.? It is 4:11 a.m. Let me show you what I did. I primed everything. I also primed all those pieces over there. I was determined to get the primer on before I stopped working. Airplanes used to have style, now they don't. Cars used to have style, now they don't. Blah 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 used to have style, now they don't. Everything's just so modern and kind of like basic. Thanks, IKEA. Get your sweetest, awesome, convenient furniture out of here.